Hey guys, and welcome back to Reading with Mo. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my reading plans for the month of October. A little later than I expected to, but I still want to share with you guys my reading plans because I do have a lot of fun books I am excited to get into this month. As it's already kind of a week into the month, I have finished a couple of books already on this list, so I think I'll probably just save those ones to talk about during my wrap up for the month of October. But what I'm planning on getting to for the last 3 weeks of October are some really other fun books as well. Let's just get straight into them. So the first book is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. So last month I read Wuthering Heights, and that really put me back in the mood to start reading classics again. So I'm really excited to get to this one. I'm actually probably going to be finishing it today. I was able to go into this book without really having any spoilers, which is cool, but basically we're following our main character. We're following her from childhood through adulthood, and in the beginning she's living with an aunt who doesn't really want to take care of her, but her parents are dead, so she's kind of just been stuck with her. And we go on through her childhood. She goes on to become a governess and everything. So I am enjoying this, and I actually am reading this partly also because I'm like loosely taking part in Victober, which is an annual readathon here on BookTube celebrating reading Victorian literature. So this is the book that I chose for this month. I do have a couple other books that I think could possibly also fit in this category as well, but I wasn't gonna like be overly ambitious or anything and just like take it one book at a time because I'm definitely out of practice in reading classics, so I don't want to intimidate myself too much. And this book is taking me a while. Like, this book is already taking me a week because it's like 500 pages and a lot of text that I'm not necessarily used to reading. There's two books I'm reading this month that are part of book series. The first one I don't have a physical copy of. I have it from my library, and that is City of Dragons by Robin Hobb. This is the next book that I'm on in the Realm of the Elderling series. I don't really have too much to explain what this one is. I think it's book 3 in the Rainwild Chronicles. Yeah, I was right, in the Rainwild Chronicles quartet. So yeah, book 3, I'm excited to get to it. I have the audiobook checked out from my library, and as soon as I finish the books I'm currently reading, it's one of my next priorities. The other book is the second book in the Red Rising trilogy by Pierce Brown. This is Golden Sun. This is the Fairy Loot edition. I really love this edition. It's very beautiful. I enjoyed the first book. I haven't even told you guys my thoughts yet because I haven't had a chance to sit down and record my September wrap-up, but I did read the first one in September, and I had given it 4 stars. I liked it. I really was hoping it was going to be a 5-star series for me, but I'm liking it, but it's just not one of my favorite series of all time. But this series, as I'm going into book 2, we're following a sci-fi series, and we're following our main character who lives on Mars, and it's basically part of like the lowest caste system in their system. Everybody's kind of differentiated by the color of their blood, so he's part of the Reds, which is the lowest of low. And yeah, I guess I can't really say much more. It's gonna give away stuff that happens in book 1, but I am interested in seeing where book 2 goes and how interested I'm gonna be, because like him as a main character I'm not so like invested in. I would say I'm kind of just more so long to see the journey and what's gonna happen. I have 2 books that I want to attempt to get to that were books that were sent to me for the month of October, and the first one is definitely one of my most anticipated books of all year, and that is Our Missing Hearts by Celeste Ng. This book I have been highly anticipating for so long. I really enjoyed her other books, Little Fires Everywhere. I like that one. I really loved Everything I Never Told You. I can't wait to reread that one eventually. This book was actually sent to me from Booksparks, and I am so thankful that I was able to get my hands on this, and I am so excited. It's definitely a high priority for me this month. In this one, we're following the unbreakable love between a mother and a child in a society consumed by fear. I don't really want to read too much into the synopsis of this because I don't want to be possibly spoiled for things that are going on. No matter what this book was about, I knew I was going to read it. So yeah, this is definitely top priority in my TBR. The other book that I have that was an ARC, actually this book was released back in July, but I'm finally going to be getting to it this month. I just got the audiobook from my library, and that's The Kingdoms of Savannah by George Dawes Green. This is from Celadon Books, and I think this one is like a mystery or thriller or something, so I'm definitely in the mood for something like that. and I love listening to those on audiobook. They're just so easy to listen to, and typically I can fly through those pretty quickly. One book that I got to last month that I end up, this is very much a spoiler for my wrap up for last month, was The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. That book was so good. Like, I can't even wait to talk to you guys about it in my wrap up. But anyway, now I feel like that's one of my favorite books of the year, possibly even one of my top favorite books of all time. So that really has motivated me to pick up the other book that I've had on her from my shelves for forever, well, since it came out, and that is Hamnet. This one we're following, I know it has something to do with Shakespeare. With the one that I just finished from her, The Marriage Portrait, it takes place in Renaissance Italy, and we're following Lucrezia de Medici. I hope I'm saying that right. And it seems like her books, at least the ones that she's releasing recently, I don't know about her more backlist stuff, seems to be following actual characters taken from history. So I am really excited to get to this one. I don't know if I'm going to do it on audiobook or if I'll use the physical book. My battery died as I was speaking about this book, but I think I left off talking to you guys about, I didn't know if I was going to do this book as an audiobook or a physical book, just because I really did enjoy the audiobook for The Marriage Portrait. So I kind of want to go with the audiobook for this one, but we'll see. I'll decide sometime during the month. There's also a bunch of books that I have on hold from my library that I'm going to hopefully try to get to. I'm currently reading right now How Not to Drown in a Glass of Water by Angie Cruz. This new release is from the same author who wrote Dominicana, and I'm really enjoying this audiobook, I have to say. There's a few other new releases that I was able to get. I will just share those with you guys during my wrap up to see which ones I ended up actually listening to the whole thing for. The last books that I wanted to share with you guys are all from the same shelf on my bookshelf, so in the next week or two I will be releasing my next like bookshelf spotlight, where on specifically that shelf I think there's like my Juniper books, like my Anne of Green Gables collection, and a few other special editions of books, mostly classics. So I did pull 4 books from that shelf that I do want to attempt to get to, so you guys will get a sneak peek also at what's on that shelf before I get to posting that video. The first one is actually a special edition of The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. This author also wrote The Binding, and I remember being let down by The Binding before, so this is kind of like a second chance to this author. This is the signed edition. I believe I got this from Waterstones. It has some like nice sprayed edges, and I believe it's actually really pretty underneath the dust jacket. Yes, it's like so beautiful, which is the same thing with The Binding. It had the same design, and it was really a letdown that I just didn't enjoy it and ended up getting rid of it. But I'm hoping that I will like this one better and keep it on my shelves. In this book, we're following Montevere, which is an exclusive academy in the mountains where the best and brightest are being trained in an arcane and mysterious contest. We're following Leo Martin, was once a student there. He lost his passion for the grand jeu. I don't know what that is, I know it's French, following a violent tragedy. Now he returns in disgrace, exiled to his old place of learning with his political career in tatters. The place has changed since he studied there. They even allowed a woman to serve as the Grand Jeu's highest office of Magister Ludi. The bond between them is strengthening, but both Leo and Claire have built their lives on lies. So this book, I feel like it does a good job of not really giving away too much of the plot in the summary, but enough to interest me in wanting to see what this is about. So I'm really hoping to get to this one. I believe I also have the audiobook from my library too, so I feel like this one I will definitely be able to get to. The last 3 books I'll show you all together because they all are from the same publisher and they're all classics. This is them. They're from the publisher Rockport. So I have 3 of these. I don't even remember where I picked these up from. I think maybe like Half Price Books or something a while ago. The first one is a selection of Grimm's fairy tales, selected stories illustrated by Yann Legendre. Oh, there's like these annoying gnats that have been driving me crazy all day. Okay, so these have really cool sprayed edges. I don't even know if you could see because it's probably being blown out on camera, but it's silver with like white text on it. This one says, "Mirror, mirror, here I stand. Who is the fairest in the land?" I think these are such beautifully designed classics. I'll show you like so these are the binding pages, so pretty, and there's illustrations and everything throughout the book as well. I just am so excited to get to these. I think they're just so beautiful. So this one was the Grimm's fairy tale one. The other one I have is Edgar Allan Poe. It's a collection of his stories and poems illustrated by David Plunkett. This one has just like some random scribble as a design on the edges, and same as the other one, I love the gothic moodiness of the illustrations and the style with this. I feel like it definitely fits with Edgar Allan Poe's vibes. And then lastly, we have Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. This one is the 200th anniversary edition, illustrated by David Plunkett. So the same one who illustrated the Edgar Allan Poe one. Here's the end papers on this one. This one has red sprayed edges, nothing super fancy with the sprayed edges. And then same as with the other ones, it also has illustrations as well throughout that I think are really cool and will definitely enhance my whole reading experience, because I haven't read Frankenstein. I've read some of Edgar Allan Poe's stuff, not all of it, and I've read, I think maybe in the past, some of Grimm's fairy tales, but I couldn't really remember. I couldn't tell you which ones I had and which ones I hadn't. So I feel like those books definitely fit with this time of year, and I don't know, but maybe a couple of those count also as classics as part of October, but I haven't really done too much research into it. So that is a general idea of my reading plans for the month of October. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts on the books that I've chosen and what you guys are planning on reading in the next few weeks. That's it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!